Recently, we've been asked by an ASQA auditor, what anti-fraud measures do you have in place to protect your certificates from fraud? And we have come up with an absolutely awesome bulletproof solution, guaranteed to work, very easy to implement. And we're going to show you how we do it right now. Okay, firstly, a certificate is printed on a sheet of paper. Now we've heard about, fake IDs, which are actual cards, and even worse for that matter, would be counterfeit notes. So let's have a look at the security features of a banknote. Firstly, it's printed on a polymer instead of paper, which is a plastic, so it doesn't scrunch or tear easily. Next, if you hold it up to the light, there are certain things that can only be seen through the note. There is this plastic window here. If you zoom in far enough on some of the text, it's written microscopically with an incredible resolution on the printer. If you hold a UV light over the serial number, it glows. So the point is, look how difficult it is to create a counterfeit note. And there are counterfeit notes out there. But we're looking at protecting an everyday sheet of paper. Currently, the anti-fraud measures that ASQA are looking for are things such as a watermark and having some text saying the original of the statement is issued with a watermark, and basically other bits and pieces of text as well. But this is a counterfeiter's dream. It doesn't matter what other watermarks or things you put on the certificate, it's never been easier. Whether it exists digitally as a PDF or exists on a sheet of paper, you'd scan the sheet of paper in, edit it in Photoshop, and then reprint out a fraudulent certificate that looks every bit as good as the original. And how can anyone tell what the original is supposed to look like? If I'm going for a job and you're the employer, the only way you can do it is to find the contact details of the RTO, give them a call, and confirm the details of the certificate are true and correct. Wouldn't it be good though if this process could happen automatically? It's starting to look like a pretty difficult problem to solve. But we're going to show you just how easy it is to stop fraudulent certificates once and for all using a bit of everyday technology. You might have seen these things called QR codes before. They're starting to pop up everywhere on the sides of buses, in magazines, business cards, and even on your eggs. Now, this is basically a two-dimensional barcode, and unlike a normal barcode, it can store a lot more information. So what we've done is embed on the certificate a QR code. And inside this QR code is a certificate verification hash. So the way it works, as a student completes a course, the system gives them a unique hash that's basically a whole series of random digits. And it embeds that hash on the certificate in a URL. So I can take my smartphone and using a free QR code reader app, of which there are many, all I have to do is just hold it over the certificate. It'll scan it and I can load up this page. And what this is doing is this is showing me that this certificate is issued to the student for this particular unit code, the issue date and the issue number. Now how this works, it has no information about any of this at all. All it does is look at that code, check it out in the database, and in the actual database of the RTO, it says, well, this code was issued to a certificate for this student, for this unit, on this date with this issue number. So I can go and change everything here, but the one thing I can't do to create a fraudulent certificate is to make one of these work. Okay, so you've seen how powerful and simple this is. The reality is though, it's as good now as making number plates optional. So speed cameras wouldn't work too well if every second car didn't have a number plate and couldn't be identified. So the concept is it needs to become mandatory on certificates at some time frame in the future. All certificates must be issued with a certificate verification code. And I don't want to bog you down with too many details yet, but it's fairly straightforward. It should actually be issued by a government body that basically it's an automated process. The LMS would just request a certificate verification code to go on the certificate, and anyone could check the certificate using a QR code reader app, and it should actually be it's very easy to make. In fact, an official government app which would also check the URL to make sure it's a legitimate one. Very straightforward anyhow. I don't want to bog you down with the details, but Australia really has the opportunity here to lead the pack because this solution should be implemented across certificates through not just the vet sector but also university and basically anywhere a certificate is issued. It's developed here in Australia by Australians. So get behind it, guys, because it is the perfect solution. We would love to hear any feedback, comments that you have about this. Thank you very much.